Mother Nature. Weather modification is a growing trend both here in Northern California and around the world. So does it work? And why do some people say it could do more harm than good? KTVU Health and Science editor John Fowler has tonight's special report.
California sure could use more rain. Tinder dry forests are burning at a record pace. Drought proclamations have millions of Bay Area water users cutting back or paying more. And climate experts predict we're in for decades of unpredictable supply. The state's top water forecaster says we're on the edge right now.
If next winter is wet, everything will be fine. If it's dry, we will be in a real drought.
So what about making rain? Burt Lancaster's character was based on a real-life Californian who claimed 500 rain-making successes, including a San Diego flood. Charles Hatfield died a half-century ago without revealing his secret, but his successors are hard at work here in downtown San Francisco at PG&E headquarters, up on the 16th floor, the weather office, where the utility's top weatherman, Byron Marler, studies charts and satellite pictures. Marler's job is to change weather, although he won't say it that way.
We're really not changing the overall picture of the weather in the Sierra Nevada, with the exception of causing a little more snowfall over some of the watersheds. 5 to 10% additional water on an annual basis.
PG&E uses what are basically big propane gas flares in the mountains. But others use different methods, including airplanes to scatter tiny particles of silver iodide to seed clouds.
Most of the watersheds of the Sierra Nevada are cloud seeded by someone.
Water districts, corporate farms, even private individuals all modify the weather with little oversight and no government restrictions. Consulting meteorologist Jan Null advises cloud seeders.
You have a lot of people experimenting with the atmosphere with only partially known sorts of effects are going to come out of it.
So, are we messing with Mother Nature?
Who plays God with our crops? Who plays God with different areas of the state of California or the counties? In other words, the weather belongs to all of us.
Former agriculture scientist Rosalind Peterson of Ukiah spoke to the UN last year opposing weather modification. Although some studies disputed, she says pulling extra water from clouds in one place steals water from folks downwind.
If we're doing a lot here,
Peterson says that's sparking weather wars across the western states, expanding rain-making programs that have unknown consequences. She says cloud seeding may be making water problems worse.
I think that we could go to conservation. I think we could take other steps of better water usage and maybe limit those programs to only a very few, if at all.
And what about unintended weather modifications, such as those persistent jet contrails that crisscross our sky? These are over Mendocino County, where military jets practice.
They're blocking some of the sunlight coming in, but they also trap some of the heat. So the jury's out as to what the exact effects are, but those contrails do have an effect upon the weather and climate.
In Beijing, over the next few weeks, well-funded Chinese weather modification experts will attempt to reduce smog by increasing air-cleaning rain, and will try to decrease rain during Olympic events. U.S. experts are skeptical.
I can't help but wonder if maybe they're exaggerating the amount of influence they have over weather.
It rains about half the days during the early part of August in Beijing. The effects are probably not going to be noticeable to anybody in the stands watching, an Olympic event.
Professional rainmakers say they can increase or decrease precipitation anywhere conditions are right. Proof is elusive. Forecasters can't predict precisely how much rain would fall anyway. Still, proponents say California and the United States are falling behind the rest of the world in rain-making science, that we need to invest in technology that might help us avoid water worries. Health and Science editor John Fowler, KTVU, Channel 2 News.